With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision ever. Even easier than deciding to open the biggest birthday gift first.
Happy birthday to you.
Which one are you going to open first?
The pony.
Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is banking with Capital One even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. No fees or minimums on new consumer accounts. Capital One and a member FDIC.
This is Zaniac Joe Pellerito.
And Danny Pellerito.
E-Z-E-Z-S-P. It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Give me an E. E. Give me a Z.
Z.
Give me a S.
S.
Give me a P.
P.
What's that spell?
Espa.
What's that spell?
Espa.
All right, listen. It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast show. Yeah, that's what it is. Please welcome Mr. Eric Zane.
Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. So glad that you are all here. Welcome to Twitch. This is of course, the Eric Zane Show Podcast Twitch stream brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Okay. I see right away. Sarah's like, where's the puppy cam? Where's the puppy cam? Well, it's not set up yet. I mean, you can still see the dogs, but it's not like the dedicated camera yet. You know? Walk before you can run, as I say. I got enough on my plate right now. But really not a big deal, and really excited about that. So, some of the questions are, when does he get rid of the background signs? You know, the things that, all these signs that help pay the rent. Yeah, eventually, you know. I mean, as usual, I don't rush into anything. It's always a subtle change. Okay? But I'm so glad that you all are here. Enjoy the show. Sit back and relax. And just enjoy, you know, it is the next step in the process of the Eric Zane Show Podcast. So glad that you are all here, and a ton of things to get to on the show. If you don't already know, if you're listening to the audio podcast only, you're like, wait, what is this, all this Twitch stuff? Well, it's just another place to get the show live. A different place, actually. Typically, it was on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Well, I've kind of push that to the side right now, and the live element of the Eric Zane Show Podcast, the video live stream, is available on Twitch now, twitch.com/Eric Zane Live. Still a thing, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, but for right now, the live element of the show is only here. In fact, at some point, relatively soon, I'm going to start the show not only on Twitch, but back on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, but only for a short amount of time of each show. And then I'm like, all right, if you want to get the show further, you got to go to Twitch. Smell you later. Just one of the many features that I'll be able to enable as time passes. I'll spare you the boring details on that. Yesterday, being Sunday, I recorded another episode of the Eric Zane Show Podcast for Compound Media. And I sent it along. It'll probably be uploaded to the Compound Media site before too long if you are a subscriber of Anthony Cumia's network, Compound Media. This will be my third show there. And a lot of the things that happen on that show, I'm like introducing new people. Some of the things that are like go on in my life, like in this particular episode that I recorded, I talk a little bit about Blind Tony and give the background of that dude. Complete with the historic telling of the Beep Beep baseball story to a new audience. The Queen of the Forest makes an appearance because she overheard me talking about her. And then I gave some of the background on the NFK, which I imagine that is just information overload about what makes that guy tick. But all happened there. And while I was, so when I do that, I have to record it all. all the audio and the video, and then I kind of like have to produce this video feature and then upload it to Dropbox. It's a bit of a process. I get the video done exactly the way I want it, and then you like hit a button that says mix down or whatever. It creates it for you into like a file. And then, holy crap, it was like an act of God. Everything in this room went dark. All of my controls here shut down. The computer lost power. The monitor lost power. Everything done. And I hear an electrical sound, like something's, like wires are crossing in some weirdo way. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And all I was doing was just sitting here watching the screen, watching the progress bar. I'm like, what? Huh? Some extension cord that you can't see with like a switch on it. It's about to blow. And I could see like in the seams of the plastic as I'm looking at it, because it's got like an on-off switch on it. Little teeny tiny flashes. It's like shorting out. I'm like, this thing's seen better days. It's going to blow. So I'm like touching the on-off switch, waiting for like sparks come shooting out of it and fry my hand. And by the way, one of the dogs just farted. For God's sake, come on. Oh, horrible. It's like I can taste it. Ugh. All right, then I got it to settle down. I just like put it down and like hit it, banged it against the wall, and started it all over again. And that like really slowed me down for getting this thing completed. But then I was like freaking out all night that because I had to like upload it and then go to bed. It takes a little time to upload it the way I want it to. And then I'm like, the room's going to catch on fire. It's going to just, if I'm sitting here in the room and everything goes dark and I hear it shorting out, I'm like, what's to say, how do I know that's not going to happen again? So I didn't sleep well. I was having a damn anxiety attack. The room was going to catch on fire. It looked like that freaking nightclub with Great White playing. Holy shit. I just saw a special on that. I think it was 60 Minutes or something like that. Did a special on the station nightclub fire. So bizarre. Holy crap. But nothing. So that's on my list of things to do today. Replace the stupid extension cord. But I ended up getting it done. If you want to see it, you go to compoundmedia.com. You can sign up for free to watch the show. All right? Thank you. This weekend, oh my gosh, talk about unexpected. 7 of us drove from Grand Rapids over to Sterling Heights, Michigan, which is the one city over from where I grew up. You got Warren, Michigan on the east side, and then right next to it is Sterling Heights, or as we used to call it, Sterling Whites. But that's not exactly true. Okay? And this is what I mean by that. I wasn't aware, but my nephew, well, I knew that his wife, now wife, I knew he was getting married, and I knew that we had a Chaldean mass to go to. Most people do not know what a Chaldean is. A Chaldean is an Arab Catholic, and there aren't many of them in the world. They're also known as Assyrians. They originate from one of 4 countries, usually. Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. Ugh. Okay? So you got these Muslim-dominated nations, 99% of the population, even more, Muslim, and then pockets of Catholics somehow. Talk about a hard sell, converting Muslims to Catholicism. But it's a thing. Now, in Iraq, there's only 300,000 Chaldeans. It's not a lot. In fact, in the United States, there's 260,000 Chaldeans. And they're spread out in 3 communities. San Diego, Phoenix, and Sterling Heights, Michigan. In Michigan, there's 160,000 Chaldeans of the 260,000 that exist in the United States. So the lion's share of them are right where I am. In this case, they're all Iraqi. Most of the ones in Sterling Heights are from Iraq. My nephew, Brad, is marrying this sweet lady named Ashley and Chaldean. Okay. Most people don't know that. But if you grew up in Southeast Michigan, you know all about the Chaldeans. Okay. A little bit of background right there. Someone says they own party stores. Yes, that's exactly true. In fact, the history of that is in the late 1960s, in Detroit, all of the white people moved out because of the riots. At about that time, the Chaldeans moved in. They emigrated from Iraq to the United States. And they're like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do here? And they bought all the party stores that the white people were selling because they were moving out to the suburbs after the riots. That's how that, people are like, oh, that's a stereotype. No, it absolutely is true. They're called like Little Beirut, Little Syria, Little Tehran party store. They own all the liquor stores. So that's absolutely true. Someone writes, this is Robert. Hey, Robert. Is it Robert, my nephew? All right. So, in fact, the reason why they all moved over to the United States or to Metro Detroit, Michigan, is because in the late 1960s, one guy in particular, all right, who was in Iraq and a Chaldean, wanted to overthrow the government, okay? And he wasn't happy with the Hussein regime, okay? So he was like, a staunch opposition to Saddam Hussein. Well, exiled, get the fuck out. Where does he go? He goes to Detroit. Now, he ended up being kind of like the kingpin of the Chaldean mafia. Yes, that's a thing. Organized crime does exist in the Chaldean population. Oh, the big hitters: loan sharking, extortion, money laundering, prostitution, drugs, robbery. And the Chaldean mafia, this guy that I forget his fucking name, who came over in the late 1960s, he was like the guy who was in charge of the whole thing. In fact, he's in prison right now for murder. Okay. Well, when he started coming over, so did all the other Chaldeans. And they're like, oh, all right, sure, we'll follow you and we'll buy all the party stores. Okay, that's a little bit of the history of that. You probably never heard of it. Most of you haven't. If you live on the west side of Michigan or in any other part of the country, you don't know who the fuck or what the fuck Chaldeans are. Okay, so remember I said about 160,000 of them are in Metro Detroit. About 3,000 of them are inside of this venue where the reception is. And oh my God, this thing was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Now, already on Twitch, I think I'm struggling with being able to show you the video of this. I'm not going to try quite this second because it didn't seem to work in the preview. But that might be because Facebook doesn't like talking to Twitch. It might not be anything that I'm doing. Okay. Now, all of that history, I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, my God, this takes me back to when I was growing up, because when I was in school, it was Italians, Polacks, and Chaldeans, and me. So I'm loaded down with Chaldeans, beautiful women, handsome, dark-skinned men, gigantic noses. I kind of look like one of them. Now, at my nephew's reception, it's 290 Chaldeans and 10 of my family. We are so outnumbered. We got a table right up front. It's freaking sweet. And, dude, this was such a cultural awakening. I had no idea how hard the Chaldeans party. Holy shit. Oh, my God. First of all, the Mass, Catholic Mass. Chaldean Catholic, so much different than Roman Catholic. They're speaking Arabic. They're singing in Arabic. I'm waiting for a fucking cobra to come out of a basket. It was awesome. I don't know a lick of the, I don't even know any of the order of Mass in Chaldean Catholic Mass. Okay, so we have the cocktail party. Great food. Awesome. And it's late. You can't get into the room until 8 p.m. All right? So, like, shit, when are we going to eat? And 8 p.m., and then at about 8:20, okay, they invite the wedding party in. Now, there's a live band. Now, you know it's going to be super amazingly energetic and fun when the instruments they're playing you don't recognize. There's a guy playing some weirdo guitar I couldn't believe. And, oh, shit, it was, and they're singing in Arabic. And the guy who's singing, he's also introducing the wedding party. So they all come in, and then they invite in my nephew and his wife. Now, you got to know this, too. My nephew, I think, you remember when you would see from 9/11 to like now, you see occasionally an American who becomes Al-Qaeda. And a white guy from Iowa becomes like an Al-Qaeda operative somehow, and he grows a beard in his hair. That's what my nephew looks like now. His hair is long and tied back in a bun, and he's got a beard. He looks like a Chaldean. And I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense. You've in order to get the girl, you had to look like your in-laws. Holy shit. So, and by the way, some of the most beautiful women on the planet are from the cradle of civilization, who is with me now at this party. I'm like, well, I knew this. I mean, Armenians, for God's sake, you know? And so this is just quite a setting. And then they invite in Brad and Ashley, and everybody is on the dance floor, and the music is playing. And I knew I was going to struggle with this because, like I said, the Facebook feed, it looks like it wants to play the audio, but not the video. Okay. This gives you an idea. Oh, you can't see this, but gives you an idea of the music here. Facebook doesn't want to show it to you. But this goes on as they're introducing these folks. Okay, so now picture this. Everybody is on the dance floor. Brad and his bride come in. That music is playing. I'm shooting video, and I'll link it up in the show notes of the podcast, and you may be able to see it in the and you can see it on my Facebook page. The rule is when the Chaldean wedding reception starts, the bride and the groom come in. We're waiting on our food, and then they cut the cake immediately. You walk in, and you cut the cake. All right? You pat the cobra on the head that's come out of the basket. And then you dance for 1 hour. And everybody is around them. And it's all like, fucking, they're all dancing in a circle. And they're all moving in unison. It was some really, I'd never seen it before in my life. It was incredible. And Brad and his wife are holding these like Gandalf the White staffs from Lord of the Rings. And they're like pounding them on the ground. And there's guys running around with big bass drums playing in unison with the band on stage. And 1 hour, that is the rule. You have to come in, immediately cut the cake. And then they take this enormous cake that looked like it cost $10,000 away. And then after you take the cake away, they like get it ready for after the meal. And then everybody dances for 1 hour. And we're sitting like, oh my God. So you have to wait for the foods. That was kind of a bummer, but it was an absolute riot. What a show. But so, after a little while, we had to do the Irish goodbye because, after they eat, Brad and his wife go. But there is no going from table to, like in a white person wedding, it's like everybody clinks the glasses. They tried that once and they go, no, you will not. No, you don't do that shit at a Middle Eastern wedding. None of that stupid white people shit. You bring in a band with instruments that look like something from the fucking Hunger Games or the Star Wars Cantina. A bunch of hot Middle Eastern looking chicks. And by the way, they sew Middle Eastern women. We're talking big hair, really tight dresses. I mean, seriously, I was walking around with a half plump dick for the whole party. It was fantastic. Man, too much. And also this, I was thinking about the Chaldean mafia, and I couldn't help but wonder what I was witnessing, because you had a lot of conversations between enormous men, like off in corners. And it just reminded me of Silvio talking to Tony, and like speaking into ears. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? So I'm like, I'm just going to keep a low profile here. It was absolutely fantastic. Can't say enough about my first experience with the Chaldean wedding. My God. Make sure you go to my Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, and follow the page. Like it if you will. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter. And YouTube, please follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Bell notification. Thumbs up to any of the videos. Brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Okay, I'm going to get to COVID Tom in just a minute here. We need to check in with Tom in just a bit, because Tom, well, he got in a fist fight. This is a longtime listener, Tom, who is called COVID Tom because he had COVID twice. He reached out to me. He goes, man, I got into a fist fight. I think he said at Lowe's. So I cannot wait to get the details about what happened there. But the next thing we need to talk about, the football weekend that was. And I think we need to focus on Michigan State to start, because that game did not let down. And some of you who don't know, when I said, yep, okay, if Michigan State wins, the couches are going to be lit on fire. And you thought I was kidding. Not only did they get lit on fire after Michigan State beat Michigan, but they sat in the burning couches. Watch this dumbass. Look at, he actually got caught on fire. Yes, he's laughing while he's burning. Laughing while he's burning. Oh my God, this is the same view, or a different view of the same fire. A riot in East Lansing. You see, Michigan State students party harder than anybody else, okay? And they're all dumb. Every single one. That's why they go to Michigan State. These are dumb people. This is what you do when you win football games in East Lansing. And then this poor son of a bitch, his car just happens to be parked on the street. And watch what these animals do to his car. Look at this. Oh, no. Unbelievable. And then they kicked in the windows, destroying the vehicle. Just some guy's car. My God. This is so insane. Now, here's the thing. White people do this. They're blowing off steam. Black people do this. They're rioting. Come on. I know. Look at this guy. This guy's like, come on. I can't believe you're doing this to that car. Come on, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Finally, look at all these morons just standing around the fucking car. These people are on top of it. Yeah, this guy who comes in and says, what the fuck are you doing? Can you not see that they've already flipped it over? You might as well let this stupid idiot do this. Okay, now this guy gets kicked. What a bunch of insanity. Stupid idiot sits on the burning couch and his friends have to put him out. What a bunch of idiots. They would never dream of doing this at Michigan, okay? Again, I don't have a rooting interest in any of this shit, okay? I don't care about Michigan, and I don't care about Michigan State. But make no mistake, Spartan students are stupid idiots. That's why they go to Michigan State. All right? These are all animals. So Michigan fucks it up, and the Spartans come back and win the game. That was fantastic. They were down 16, and they said, fuck you, we're going to win this fucking game. And that was it, man. That guy, Kenneth Walker III, the running back, scores 5 touchdowns. My God. And Harbaugh and the Wolverines fuck it up again. So now, fuck those guys. They lost. Now we're only concerned about Michigan State. They now move into the top 5 and knocking on the door of the BCS, of the top 4. Top 4 in the BCS is all we care about. And those that comes out tomorrow. So you've got 5 teams pretty much fighting it out as to who's going to be the top 4. A lot of football to play. But as of right now, it's shaking out to be Georgia 1, Cincinnati. I don't believe those guys are any good. They're playing loser teams. Cincinnati 2. You got Alabama and Oklahoma. Michigan State in the AP 5 right now. Michigan falls to 9. A lot can still happen here. That doesn't mean that any team is quite dead yet, but it was a fantastic game. Michigan State hung in there and just came back. They win it. Holy shit. And then, you know what? The interesting thing is Wolverine fans, it's a little embarrassing. They got beat. And all they do is sit there and bitch about the replay booth fucked it up for us. It was the replay booth's fault. It's like, come on, man. You guys, why the fuck did you bring in... Didn't Harbaugh bring in some, freshman quarterback? And then every time that idiot touched the ball, it wound up on the fucking turf every single time. Sam writes, easy to come back when you're getting touchdowns given to you and taken away from other teams. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Nothing worse than a crybaby fan. I don't even give a shit about this game. I don't even have a rooting interest, but all I saw was Michigan State kick your ass, specifically Kenneth Walker III. You want to win the game? Tackle somebody, you assholes. Holy shit. Enough crying. So I've seen a lot of that. Crank says, Eric, aren't you a U of M fan? No, I'm not either fan. I don't give a shit about either one of those teams. I don't have a college football. I just root for stories, and that was a great story. Michigan State, an epic game. It didn't let me down in any way. I didn't... The dick didn't watch it. I listened to it. I actually listened to 2/3 of the game, and then the final quarter, I watched it. I saw Kenneth Walker kick your ass. Absolutely great. In fact, COVID Tom is a Michigan fan, so when I get him in here, he's probably going to want to try to pick a fight with me, too. All right, I'll talk about the Lions after Tom, but I told Tom I'd get him on here at about 8:30. Before we get to that, the open and the live stream of this show brought to you by Affordable Limousine and Party Bus. They are hiring. Go to buscareers.com. Buscareers.com is where you go. Fill out the form. And you could be working in the chauffeur industry, driving a charter, driving a shuttle bus, trolley, whatever it may be. All they're looking for is experienced drivers who have a CDLB with passenger endorsement. You're going to make a ton more money on your schedule. You've heard me talk about it. It's time you see what this is all about. Fill out the form at buscareers.com. When they say, hey, how'd you hear about this? Please mention the Eric Zane Show podcast. It is November. That means I will soon be working with Frank the Tank Fuss and his orange shirt with huge guns sticking out of it. That's a reason alone to bang on the door of Frank Fuss, just to see his arms. Okay? Make sure you schedule a Zoom meeting with him just to see his pipes. Tell him to flex. Reach out today, 616-914-4070. If you are getting a policy through the marketplace or Obamacare, whatever the hell you want to call it. Because if you've been getting your insurance from the marketplace and you're doing it on your own, stop. Have Frank do everything for you. This is a service that is free, and you have to do it this way. When I was getting my insurance in the marketplace by myself, I kept screwing it up and doing it wrong. You will do it wrong, or you will get less and pay more for your policy. Have Frank check everything out for you the right way. Have him investigate your policy. 616-914-4070 for Frank Fuss at My Policy Shop Insurance. Again, this is free. Frank doesn't make money from you. He makes money from the insurance companies. He is a licensed independent insurance agent/broker, and he can work through wherever you are in the United States. If he isn't licensed in your state, he will put you in touch with the right people who are. He also specializes in Medicare, insurance through your employer, dental insurance, life insurance, cars, everything. Just call him. Reach out to the tank. Yeah, I didn't even think about COVID Tom being a Michigan fan, but if I remember correctly, his Facebook picture is him wearing a Michigan hat. So this ought to be fun. Don't leave me hanging.
Morning, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Never better. I was just talking before I decided to call you up about the Michigan State game.
Oh, man.
I know you're a Michigan fan, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the one takeaway that you'd like to address right now?
About the game?
Yeah.
Well, I thought there were some pretty shady calls. It's always a good game. It's always a tough game. You can throw the records out. Doesn't matter. Always a physical game. But, yeah, I think State caught some breaks. But
well, now, wait a minute.
It is what it is.
I was just talking about that. It seems like every time I turn around, Michigan fan is bitching about the replay officials.
Yeah, I was doing plenty of that Saturday.
Okay.
I actually was there.
You were there, of course. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Well, I don't know. I mean, didn't Harbaugh bring in some loser quarterback who kept putting it on the ground?
No, McCarthy's he's a true freshman.
Right.
He was a 5-star player
Right.
coming out of high school, and he's been platooning him and McNamara all year. But yeah, he did. McCarthy did put it on the ground, and that was a huge turnover.
Yeah. In fact, didn't he put it on the ground once? And Harbaugh said, "Get back in there and do it again."
Well, he didn't mean put it on the ground again. But
Well, I know, but I mean, that's on the
he
coach.
did. He wanted to get back on the horse, you know.
Yeah, well,
he wanted to destroy his confidence.
What about the running back for Michigan State, Kenneth Walker III, that apparently Michigan did not want to tackle him?
Yeah. You know, that guy, the kid's good. I mean, he's a transfer.
All right, so we know
to State this year. What a pickup, and he's probably going to win the Heisman.
Okay, so we know now. I mean, it wasn't the refs, it wasn't the calls, it was throwing it around. They got their ass kicked.
Yeah, and we were up by plenty of points a couple times and just gave it away.
That's what I want.
State's relentless. They're scrappy. and kind of like you.
That's,
And
okay. Now that is the now it's okay. Now you see, you started out shoddy with it was the referees, but you've turned it around, and I can appreciate that.
well, thank you.
Well, listen, Tom, you informed me that over the weekend you got into a fist fight. Isn't that right?
That's correct. Actually, it happened Thursday.
Oh, it happened Thursday. I'm sorry. Okay, I was sorry. I screwed that up. So
no problem.
you got into a fist fight on Thursday. Okay, where were you when this all happened?
Lowe's parking lot.
In what community?
Lowe's on Plainfield. I live in the Northview area, Plainfield Township.
Okay, you walking into the store or walking out of the store?
No, actually, I picked my son up from school, and him and a buddy had to meet their teacher at Lowe's to pick up some materials for a project they were working on. So drove there. The teacher was waiting for them in front. They went in, taking care of their business. I just waited in the car. And I had backed into this spot. Probably not the best idea, but so as my son and his friend are coming out of the store with the materials, which several actually 2x4s, about 6 foot long.
Okay.
And so I'm getting ready. I popped the trunk, getting ready to put them in the car. So this guy pulls into the spot behind me and with his wife, and he says, "Hey, what the hell you doing?" I said, "Gonna load some wood in the car."
Yeah.
He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Oh, yeah, I am. Watch me." So he gets out. I said, "Hey, I don't know what your problem is. Well, be careful of your car. We're not going to damage your car. This will be over in a second. You can watch if you'd like." So he got right in my face and he says, "I'm telling you, you're not going to load that stuff up here."
Okay.
I said, "What are you going to do? Hit me?" And I no more than said that, Zane, and pow, right hand to the jaw.
He punched you in the face?
Punched me in the face.
Wait, hang on a second. Back up. Are you breaking any rules here or anything?
As far as what?
Loading the car?
No.
Well,
That's why I'm still dumbfounded. I have no clue what this guy's issue was.
Okay.
Never said.
What is the age and makeup of this guy? Tall, big, fat, skinny? Explain that.
Short, stocky, in his 40s.
Okay.
Short man syndrome. Those short guys, I'm telling you, they all walk around with big chip on their shoulder.
Okay. So again, he doesn't want you. He sees that the goal is to load the wood in your car, and he tries to he aggressively goes the way he did, and then very quickly he's punched you in the face.
0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
All right. Now you're out of the vehicle at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was getting ready to help the boys load up the lumber.
Okay. What happened next, Tom?
Well, after he hit me, I literally laughed because I didn't even flinch. And I grabbed him by the throat, grabbed him by his trousers, threw him on the hood of his car, cocked my right arm, getting ready to rain blows upon him. And I thought, no, don't do it. Set a good example for your son.
Wow.
This guy's wife's right here. And then, so I was getting ready to back off, and I heard my son say, "Get him, Dad." So I thought, well, I got the green light. So I popped him about 3-4 times, and
okay,
it was over.
Did you get him in like back of the head, side of the head? What are we talking about here?
No, he was face up on the hood of his car. I had him pinned to the hood of his car.
Okay.
He wasn't moving, and I just popped him a few times to get the adrenaline.
Okay. Maybe get the so he's gonna be a little dazed, and maybe he will have a remembrance that that he was in a fight.
Correct. I wanted to make sure he was done, and I literally asked him, "Okay, you done?" He said, "Yeah."
He did. Oh wow.
So I let him up, and then he threatens to shoot me. He says, "I got a gun."
Oh my!
And starts
God.
heading for his car. I thought, "Oh geez, as quick as he hit me, I got to keep my eye on him because I wouldn't be surprised at all if this guy goes to his glove box and pulls out a gun." But he never did. It was all talk.
Oh my God! So now at this point, he was just arriving at the Lowe's. What does he?
Yeah.
Does he go in and go shopping?
No, no, he went to jail.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So
there was quite a crowd, and we were literally right in the front of the store.
oh man!
And about three Lowe's managers came out and said, "Hey, is everything okay here? Does anybody need any medical attention? Do you want us to call 911?" So they called 911. A couple sheriff's deputies reported and took our interviews, as well as my son and his friend. And this guy's wife was just horrified.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Poor lady.
That's what
And,
Kate is.
So
asking.
yeah, it took all our statements, and he claimed that I shoved him first. And Lowe's was nice enough to provide security footage that
Nice.
showed that wasn't the case. He was definitely the aggressor, and they arrested him.
So they are able to that quickly get eyes on that video.
Yep.
Oh, that is so sweet. You know, I mean, seriously, you go to the instant replay booth, something that you Michigan fans complain about. But in this case, it worked out.
Right.
Wow.
This time I was happy about the review.
Oh man. And then
Yeah.
and then the wife, she had to be just like you indicated, just like, oh, well, she was probably like, what is going on here? Who did I marry? You know?
I don't know. I'm still dumbfounded and clueless as to why this guy. I mean, he obviously had something else going on.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had to. The way he came out of flying out of that car, and
Yeah.
I mean, he was ready to go.
Right. It's probably good that the world is aware of him, because now he's going to have to face the music. And
Right.
so I imagine it's he's going to have to do that, be in front of a judge at some point, or is that a condition of you? I mean, do you have to press the charges?
I did press charges.
Yeah,
just
good.
to teach him a lesson,
Right.
and hopefully save others in the future. But the sheriff's deputy said to me that the system's about 2.5 years behind, so it's going to be a while. He said, "Don't
Good.
expect any calls in the near future." But
Well, that gives
it's going to go to court unless he chooses to fight it. But I don't know what he would base that defense on. Having a video of it and everything, and
Well,
witness statements. So
I like the 2.5 years, because that gives this guy enough time to think, I mean,
Right.
So screw it. All you have to do is wait. Holy shit. What a
you
fucking
go
maniac.
stand in the corner and think about what you've done.
Yes, Tom.
Like our parents used to tell you.
So
Tell us.
do you have a background in fighting? Because it sounds like you very easily dispatched this little fucker.
No, I was pretty damn good athlete back in the day, and I was definitely a scrapper in my younger days. It wasn't my first fist fight.
Okay.
Hopefully my last, but yeah, I've got a little history, a little background.
The idea that he slugged you,
Go ahead.
and the idea that he slugged you and you laughed, he had to have pissed his pants a little bit.
Right. Yeah. My son heard it too. He goes, "I couldn't believe you laughed after he hit you."
That is so sweet.
He goes, "You didn't even move." And I said, "Well, wasn't packing much of a punch, son."
Oh man. All right. Well, Tom, I appreciate your telling of the story. You did a good job, and I'm glad that you're pressing charges, because somebody wrote the wife has seen this behavior before, and God knows what else he does behind closed doors.
Right. And I had to reach out to you because I know that you've had some near scrums in the neighborhood and whatnot, but and I thought you might appreciate it.
Well,
so.
I think I would be the guy who got beat up. I think actually this is a lesson to me, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to fighting. So I should shut up. I should use this as a lesson.
Well, my dad was a Grand Rapids police officer, and he taught my brother and I at a very young age what he referred to as "throat that sumbitch." And what that was is when somebody hits you, grab them right by the effing throat, and rain blows upon them or take them down. And it was just total instinct. That's what I did. And we actually had T-shirts made up. My dad's last Father's Day before he passed away, that said TTSB with the American flag, and that stood for throat that sumbitch.
I like it.
So that's what I did, and it worked.
Thank God you're there. All right. All right,
buddy.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
Hey, you've got 2 COVID diagnoses under your belt. Are you going for a third anytime soon?
Well, we got another new variant coming from across the pond, but who knows? This one past time I had it was totally different than the first, and with this new variant, who knows, Zane? I'm still going to continue getting the boosters and do what I can on my end, but it's running rampant throughout Hope Network where I work right now too. So
okay, buddy.
But I got to admit, I was surprised to get it after being fully vaccinated.
I know it. All right. Well, I appreciate you very much. I'm glad you're okay.
Anytime, buddy.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you. See ya. There you go. COVID Tom making an appearance on the show after that. What the fuck, man? That's sick lunatic. Whew. Someone said, you literally fought him in the street. Well, the parking lot. So COVID Tom gets into a fight. My goodness. And as predicted, I mean, I knew Tom was a Michigan fan. I go, hey, buddy, so what are your thoughts about the game? And he goes, well, we got screwed by the refs. Come on. All right. Who was it? Zane doesn't know shit about sports except hockey or something like that. Well, true. Very true. I don't know which one of you said that. It might have been Sam. But I did watch the game. I watched enough of the game to see one team win and one team lose. I did see one guy score 5 touchdowns. 5. I do know that Michigan State is now 5th in the rankings. And the Wolverines, they're not dead in the water. They're 9th, and there's a lot of football left to play. You know? I would love to see Michigan beat Ohio State, but it is a huge story. Harbaugh cannot win against a decent opponent on the road. And you just have to look at how the guy's done. He hasn't done shit against ranked opponents on the road. And he had this game. He had it. And he fucked it up for you. Don't blame replay officials. I'm a Wolverine fan. It's the ref's fault we lost, even though the fucking 16-year-old quarterback's throwing it around like a fucking maniac. What did Brandstatter say on the radio? I don't listen to that fat fucking homer. Are you serious? Who listens to Brandstatter? Brandstatter and Deerdorf are the absolute worst. Holy shit. I listen to Blaha. He's a fucking professional. Not these 2 meathead homer dicks. All right. Anyway. Now, I realize that this show, not everybody who listens to this show gives a shit about sports or gives a shit most specifically about Michigan sports. But it's super important to me. And it allows me to get shit off my chest. Now, when it comes to the Lions, my beloved Detroit Lions. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a diehard fan. I have been for 41 years. 41 years. And I'm not the I hate them or I'm just in it. I'm just relishing in what has become quite a saga and quite a story. Back a number of years ago, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years ago, they lost every one of their games. They went 0-16. drafted Matt Stafford. Most recently, they get rid of Stafford to the Rams. He's kicking ass. I make the bet with huge. Now the Lions are knocking on the door, kind of losing all their games again. The game yesterday against the shitty Philadelphia Eagles was probably one of their best chances to win a game this year. They're at home. Eagles have won 2 games coming in, and they've done nothing but suck dick. And the Lions made them look like Super Bowl champions. Oh, my God. The Lions suck so bad. Every aspect of that game, they were shitty except for, like, punter. Oh, man. They get murdered 44-6 in an ugly, horrible game. Oh. Who's the kid from Alabama? What's his name? Jalen Hurts? It looks like Tom Brady out there. The Lions didn't. I can't even sit there and pick out one particular point. The standout moments for me were when it's like 4th and something. The Lions are going for it's like 4th and 10, and Jared Goff, the quarterback, he gets the ball. He's getting ready to pass it, and he drifts out of the pocket. He wasn't really flushed out of the pocket. He drifts out of the pocket. He's got a little bit of time for a change, and then he throws it, and he throws it away. He throws it out of bounds, and he claims that, oh yeah, it just slipped, but it sure didn't look like it. It looked like he just kind of drifted and then threw it into the stands, and it's 4th down. Holy shit. So that's it. That's the Lions give the ball up on downs. It was just fucking terrible. And the idea that he doesn't, when the pocket collapses, he kind of just freaks out, and then they sack him for a loss. He got sacked 5 times, 4 times in the first half, and just really ugly. Made the Eagles look like Super Bowl champions. And wow. Then the boos. After that 4th down, throw it out of bounds, the loud boos, and then they're chanting, "We want," and I don't even know who the backup quarterback is. Doesn't matter. They're chanting for this loser backup quarterback who he sucks too. And then what else happened that was stupid? Let's see. What was it? That doesn't matter. Just getting murdered in that game. They are now 0-8. Bill would have to go. Lions would have to go 7-8 on the year. I take that back. They would have to go 7-1 on the year for Bill to win the bet. And it's like, it's already over. Somebody suggested that I should do double or nothing with Bill, and that change the parameters. Like, I would lose all their games. Bill would get 2 wins. If the Lions win 2 games, Bill would win the bet. If they lose all their games, I would win the bet, because this is such a horrible one-sided affair. And double or nothing. If Bill wins, I would wash his car. If I win, Bill has to do something more extreme than wash my car in a Speedo. Like, I don't know, get raped by a horse or something like that. This person writes, and I apologize. I don't know all of you on Twitch because the names aren't your names. But how come Terry put his name, Kenny put his name, and the rest of you put like fucking names you see on Reddit? Why didn't you put your real names there so I can identify you? Brady fan 1989 says they quit in the second quarter. Was one of the most pathetic performances ever. They gave up over 200 yards rushing. Oh, man. Very, very bad. Stand by. All right. There was something else about that game that I wanted to touch on. I can't remember it. Oh, the image of fans in the stands. I always love this. Fans who put paper bags over their head. To me, that is so effectively perfect. Okay? It shows the team that you're rooting for that you're spending your money on them, but you don't want the rest of the world to see that you're there. So some dude with the bag with a sad face and the eye holes cut out, and then he's holding a sign that says, "Not a costume," next to a chick who's pointing at him. It was perfect. Some of the folks saying, "I can't change my name for 60 days or something. And new to Twitch. My name is my Amazon username." So I see. That explains it. Adam, thank you. So there you go. 0-8. And boy, I don't even know who they play next. Oh, they got a bye week. They go into the bye. Now, I mean, I get it. I don't sit here and pitch a fit and say this is what you got to do or get mad about it or any shit like that. It's been 60 plus years since they won a championship, and in that time they've won one playoff game. So whatever, man. I'll just pay attention the way I pay attention now. I don't watch. I just kind of watch the highlights now. It is frustrating, but I'm not going to sit here and lose my mind over it. I'm not going to base an entire sports talk show on it. All right. Yeah, they got a bye week, and then they play at the Steelers. That's a loss. At the Browns. That's a loss. They host Chicago Thanksgiving. That's a loss. They host the Vikings. That's a loss. At the Broncos. I don't know how the Broncos are doing. They host Arizona, who's awesome. That's a loss. At the Falcons. That's a loss. At the Seahawks. That's a loss. Host Green Bay. That's a loss. Currently, bye week favored by 10 points. Holy shit. Okay. Coming up on November 21st, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Paintball Wars 16. The Thanksgiving Massacre. It's about the 5th different title I've given it. The Pilgrim Massacre. The Pilgrim Slaughter. I talked to Gabe the Honduran and his a wild bunch of Mexican friends. And I said, we're going to dress you guys up as the Mexicans. And as the Pilgrims. And all the white people are going to dress up as the Indians. And you guys are going to slaughter them. And he said, I don't think you should mention that on Twitch, Zane. I said, yeah, I won't. If you want to participate in Paintball War number 16, you must email me. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. I heard from Kuiper. I heard from Amanda and I heard from Andrea and her family. Okay. So, and I heard from Gabe the Honduran. So I need to hear from you if you're going. Please give me an RSVP for Paintball War number 16, November 21. That is a Sunday at TC Paintball. Pizza party beforehand. Going to set you back $35 a participant. You get the paint, you get the gun, you get the field time. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you there, but you must email me, Eric@ericzaneshow.com. If you're coming, please do that. Thanks to Cardiff Electric for making an attempt at the Bennett Flooring commercial the other day. That was very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback about Cardiff Electric's appearance on the show Friday. That was a surprise appearance. I did not plan that. He just showed up in the waiting room, and I clicked on it, and there he was, and then you guys all loved him. Very cool of him. Bennett Flooring Installation. Also very thankful for Cardiff Electric. If you are in West Michigan and you need the flooring installed, please bang on the door of Bennett Flooring Installation. 616-318-0167. If you want to check them out, okay? And the best thing to do is rip out the old stuff first. You do that. You get the flooring yourself and then have Bennett Flooring install it for you. If you're in West Michigan, that's who you call. Bennett Flooring Installation, 616-318-0167. Okay. Comedy this week at Full House Comedy. Online at fullhousecomedy.com. You've got first of all, on November 5th and November 6th, you have Michael Winslow. November 5th at Back Alley Comedy Club in Muskegon. November 6th at the Park Theater. That's the dude who will blow your mind with the sound effects and the comedy that he does to accompany those sound effects. Sound effects that he makes with his mouth. Holy shit. I will link it up. There is a version of him, Michael Winslow, and I'll get to it this week on the Twitch stream here. But I will link it up in the show notes because I don't have it right in front of me right now. I don't want to be looking for it. Of him on some talk show doing Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love. And he plays every part. He does the singing. He does the lead guitar. All with his face. It's fantastic. Also appearing, John Caparulo at Full House Comedy at Rockford Lanes on November 5th. Back Alley Comedy Club on November 6th. And Park Theater on November 7th. Tickets for these and all of the upcoming shows at Full House Comedy are available at fullhousecomedy.com. Okay, it is time for me to get involved in the hilarity of the Let's Go Brandon chants. As you know, I don't really have okay, when it comes to Let's Go Brandon, if you don't know what that is, you've been living under a rock. Let's Go Brandon is code for fuck Joe Biden. Now, I'm not too political either way when it comes to things of this nature. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just me. I take it as it comes. But a lot of you listening to this show or watching this show, you hate Joe Biden. However, it's not exactly conducive for you in your day-to-day life to say, hey, fuck Joe Biden. You know, if you do that, you might have a little bit more tact. You might have a little bit more class. And you're probably not the type of person to say, fuck Joe Biden. Well, good news. Because if you say, let's go Brandon, you can get away with it. And that has become a rallying cry to all these people that hate Joe Biden. Okay? Now, some of you you don't give a shit, and you will say fuck Joe Biden. And a lot of people do say fuck Joe Biden. I don't. I don't want to say fuck Joe Biden or let's go Brandon. Okay? I don't think that Biden should be the president right now because I believe he's mentally unstable and they need someone else in there. And this is bullshit that they're trying to trick us that he is of sound mind. I don't believe that. But that's neither here nor there. About a month ago at some NASCAR race, some dude, doesn't matter who, wins the fucking race. And the pit reporter is interviewing the guy, and his name's Brandon something or other. Doesn't matter who. All you need to know is his name is Brandon. He won the stupid race. And all the NASCAR hillbillies are chanting, fuck Joe Biden. And you can hear it. It's loud and clear. And this chick knows it, who's interviewing Brandon What's-His-Face. And she goes, well, and she draws attention to it. She goes, you know, that was quite a victory. You can hear the fans. They're chanting, let's go Brandon. And they're not. They're chanting, fuck Joe Biden. It's not even close to let's go Brandon. And it is so ridiculously audible. And it's just hilarious that she's trying to convince the world that they're saying, let's go Brandon. Well, now everybody says, let's go Brandon when they mean to say, fuck Joe Biden. You see that one dude who, remember that guy in the news about a week and a half ago who's a former Marine or whatever. I don't even know how you say it now. Do you say former Marine or do you say he's a Marine and he's not active? I don't know. But anyway, he was at the store and some punk comes in with a gun and the dude grabs the gun and beats the shit out of the bad guy and the other pussy runs off. It was like something COVID Tom would do. Well, then they gave him like the key to the city or some shit. And he's wearing a MAGA hat, the guy, and he's wearing a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt. Now, so I am really intrigued by the people who say Let's Go Brandon because it's clever and it's funny. I can. This is something I can get behind. I don't want people to say fuck Joe Biden. I don't want people to feel bad about anybody. Okay, but this is funny, and I think it's hilarious how people keep working this in. Excuse me. Well, now some pilot on a Southwest Airlines flight. God, this is getting so hilarious to me. The pilot on the Southwest Airlines flight is like, all right, we're making our descent into Orlando, and I want to thank you for flying Southwest Airlines. And we'll see you next time when we're flying here on Southwest. Thank you. Let's go, Brandon. So that's code for fuck Joe Biden. So people are working this in. And anybody else who hates Joe Biden on the Southwest flight is like, yes. But some of these other folks are like, oh my God, because they get it. Everybody knows the joke. They have figured out a way to say fuck Joe Biden through Let's Go Brandon. It's fucking brilliant. If Joe Biden was smart, he'd say it. Because that immediately takes the power away from Let's Go Brandon. Joe Biden, at the next one of his rambling, incoherent, whatever he's fucking saying, while I can't read the teleprompter, said, "Let's go, Brandon," it would have an effect. I think it'd be a great thing that he would do. He's not going to do that. Or if Jen Psaki said, "Let's go, Brandon," okay, then like, yeah, we get the joke, and then that would be it. It would lose its power. On this Southwest Airlines flight, though, there was a writer from the Associated Press on the plane who, I swear to God, was on the flight, and at the time she was writing a story about how Let's Go Brandon became a thing. Basically what I just talked about. And then on the flight, she hears the pilot say on the thing, "Let's go, Brandon." Well, she gets up, and according to her, she brought it up to the flight crew. And she said, "You won't believe this, but I'm an AP reporter. I'm doing a story on the phenomena of Let's Go, Brandon. I would like to get your take on it." Well, she claims that they were going to throw her off the flight or something like that, gave her a whole bunch of shit about it or something like that. This is an article from Slate. And now she then reported it to Southwest Airlines, and Southwest Airlines has vowed to investigate. And I'm like, oh, come on now. What do they have to investigate? Seriously. If you're Southwest Airlines, this already is like this airlines, if you don't know, they were the ones that staged the walkout for mandatory vaccinations, okay? So they already are appealing to the maniac MAGA scum. So if the guy says, "Let's go, Brandon," it behooves you. Let him do that. In fact, encourage him to keep doing it. You don't do an investigation because you want people flying on your airline, you know? So they're saying they're vowing to investigate. Now, I'm guessing they're like, yeah, we're just saying that. Keep saying it. In fact, I want you to show up to work with a MAGA hat on and a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt because, you know, it's a budget airline. Let's get more of these MAGA losers in here, and they'll love this, okay? So Let's Go Brandon says in the plane's public address system, the phrase has been popular as a way to insult Joe Biden. And in a weird twist of fate, Associated Press reporter Colleen Long writing about it while on the plane. She tweeted out that feeling when you're trying to go on a vacation and then the pilot says the very thing you're working on over the loudspeaker and you have to get him to comment, but then almost get removed from the plane. This is incredible. I'm impressed that the Trump supporters figured this all out and did something as clever as this. Because normally the level of stupidity coming from that ilk would not have them being that clever, but this is clever. I love this so much. So there you go. Let's go, Brandon, alive and well, and I, for one, support it. All right. The pilot will likely have some severe weather keeping him from taking off for a couple of weeks. Did you see they're doing that on American Airlines now? There's there's a lot of call-outs and bad weather. And everybody knows it has to do with the mandatory vaccinations. It's like, shit, what is going on with the world? There's that, and then in New York, like half the fire department, half the cops, half the first responders, they're all going to fucking get fired. Holy shit. Melissa says people had fuck Trump flags in their yards too. But yeah, I don't give a shit about any of that. You can put your flags up. And if this guy wants to say, what do you call it? Let's go, Brandon. Let him. Who gives a shit? All right. Jeep Girl 369 is Wendy Johnston. Hey, Wendy, thank you. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible on the Twitch stream. But I do want to get into Colin Kaepernick, which is going to have us watching a video together. Okay. For a little bit of context, when it comes to Kaepernick taking a knee, I get it. I got it. I was like, yeah, I definitely understand what the hell this guy is bitching about. So however many years ago it was, guy takes a knee, loses his job, blackballed by the league. And honestly, I do get him being blackballed by the league because, frankly, if I own a football team, I don't want this lightning rod on my team. So I get where the teams are coming, and I get where Kaepernick is coming too. He's like, look, man, I'm trying to do the right thing here. I feel it's important that I bring this up about police brutality and inequality and all this shit. I absolutely get that. And I am not one of these people that says that he is slighting America and slighting the military. Yeah, it's very clear what he has said, and I've made that very clear to you because I've kind of like gone back and forth, but I still feel the same way. However, this is so much bullshit. Okay. Colin Kaepernick has a Netflix special out. Now, I want you to pay attention in this clip here because he is drawing a comparison to what NFL players go through when they're getting ready to enter the league. Okay, so all of these great college athletes are trying to enter the NFL, and the NFL teams want to make sure that the players are healthy and they're fast and they're strong, so they measure how long their arms are, and they have them run a short distance to see how fast they are, and they lift weights and they jump in the air. It's called the combine. All right. They also give them an intelligence test, see how smart they are. Okay. This has been that way forever because if you're going to give someone millions of dollars, okay, you want to make sure that you're have the person that you think is healthy, strong, and all that shit. Kaepernick was part of it, and every athlete, black, white, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, that's ever entered the league, they do this in all sports, is all of this. This fucking hypocrite, and this has nothing to do with kneeling. It has to do with just this moment on the Netflix special. This is tons of bullshit. He is saying that this is just like slavery, when they would bring people in from various countries in Africa and the slave trade. They'd put them up on a stand in shackles. Look at this shit, okay?
They don't want you to understand.
And first of all, let me start with this. His fucking hair is so ridiculous. I can't take this guy serious in any way, shape, or form because of that fucking hair. All right? It's so stupid.
What's being established is a power dynamic. Before they put you on the field.
Okay, now did you notice that? Did you notice that he establishing a power dynamic? Look at how stupid he looks. My God. I hate that hair. I don't give a shit what the fuck race, color, or creed you are. If your hair looks like that, you're an asshole. You notice he like reached into his jacket there on his all black outfit. And he pulled out like some type of notebook. Yeah, like that means anything. Like he's actually reading a script.
Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respected. No dignity left intact.
Except for the fact that every one of these guys, if they make it, will be millionaires and rich beyond their wildest dreams. There's that, too. That quite doesn't fall into the slavery thing, Colin. Look at that hair. God, I can't get over the hair. By the way, every one of these guys are black, and there are white people in the league, for fuck's sake. They may be punters, kickers, and, well, that's about it, but still.
Look at that shape there. Look at this. Just a fire.
Okay, so now we're getting into the slave trade example. This is a direct comparison to the slave trade and couldn't be further from the truth. Fuck Colin Kaepernick after this.
I got your bid. 30, James, 30 to you. 100. So, next one coming up, best one we got. 500, 600. Right here. Look at this here. Come on, who wants this?
This is sad, in my opinion.
700. There we go now. Look now. 1,000. I'm telling you what I want.
Yeah. Okay. If I had any respect for the guy in standing up for what he believed in, with regards to, what he was trying to say in the first place, this is now what makes me not want to give this guy the time of day. This is all bullshit. The thing with Kaepernick is he'll stand for social justice reform, which I'm all for. And then he makes an absolutely ridiculous point like this. And for me, it completely ruins all credibility and makes me think he's a jackass. I completely agree. And then this Kaepernick still would get back in the league in a heartbeat if he was good enough. He's just not good enough anymore. Yeah, that ship has sailed. But then there's also the fact that he makes a ton of money now from Nike. And speaking of slave labor, you could draw the comparison that people that make Nike athletic gear at sweatshops in China, that's a hell of a lot closer to slavery than the NFL Combine. But what a horrible point he made. And it just shows you how diluted and clouded this fucking idiot's brain is if he can watch the finished product of his Netflix special and go, yeah, I think this is good. Most people, when they do something that's a little wonky, they're kind of like the alarms go off. And, I don't know about that. That might make me look bad, Of course, never got in the way of me saying or doing anything. But him saying, yep, I give it my stamp of approval. In my opinion, it ruins any credibility the guy had. He's an absolute idiot. So that's my take on Colin Kaepernick going forward. Unless he turns around and says, yeah, I fucked up. This whole thing was stupid. I don't want to hear from him anymore. All right. I've got T-shirts at ericzaneshow.com. Just click on merch and off you go. I'd love you to be wearing an Eric Zane Show podcast T-shirt, including hoodies. It's getting close to that season. Some of these Midwest, northern climates, even Canada where the show is heard. Get an Eric Zane Show podcast hoodie, one of 9 different designs to choose from, a multitude of colors. And there you go. All found at ericzaneshow.com. My friends at A&E Heating and Cooling are reminding you that the cost to heat your home this year will be up about 52%. Okay? Get your furnace tuned up to make sure it is running as efficiently as it can. If you skip this, you run the risk of a breakdown. Burning fuel is dirty business, and that thing needs to be cleaned. So have the pros at A&E Heating and Cooling. Do it for $79. 616-516-8579. If you don't do it yearly, you risk running a breakdown, and God knows we just can't have that. So give a call today. Call or text 616-516-8579 about scheduling your cleaning for your furnace. If you need a new furnace, they will install the best in the business, the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces, okay? Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. My friends at Blue Frost IT are reminding you that if you have a small or a medium-sized business, this is who you call in West Michigan if you need tech support, whether it's retrofitting the office, maybe you're moving, you want all new tech, maybe you need a project done, whatever it may be. Reach out for a complimentary consultation concerning all of that with Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. And also, if after you have the new setup installed, after your complimentary consultation, they buy all the new tech for you, they install it, they are your managed IT service provider as well. You pay them a few bucks each month, and they take charge of all of your tech. If there's any needs or snafus that pop up with the tech that you have, they will support that for you at Blue Frost IT. Call for an estimate, 616-200-8550. And then, when it comes to mortgages, there is a difference. Not all people who do mortgages are created equal. Most people who do mortgages, they're like, yes, if you have a perfect credit score, call me, and I'll make that a quick and easy process. My friend Mario Flores and the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage do that. But in addition to helping people who already have great credit, they help people who don't. And, you know, that happens from time to time for whatever reason. It doesn't matter the reason why. But you might be living in a scenario where you're paying like rent to someone because you like can't get a mortgage. Just reach out to Mario and let him try on your behalf. All right. 231-332-6505. Doesn't matter where you are in the U.S. There are exceptions to that. Maine, Alaska, South Carolina, and Hawaii. But otherwise, reach out to Mario for a mortgage. Mention me, please, when you do that. 231-332-6505. All right. Amanda says, Colin Kaepernick, you can't be taken seriously looking like one of the Jackson 5. No, that's true. You can't. Kaepernick has never been credible. Multimillionaires comparing themselves to slaves. Wow. How much more out of touch can you get? He's a fucking hypocrite. He's only taking shots at the league because they don't want him. That sounds about right. Something else. Right now, we're in this culture war / race war. When you have people like that dishing out bullshit like that, if you're a black athlete, you should stand up and say, you know, I'm all for equality, but what he's saying is not true, and this is absolutely wrong, and it divides us further. I would love, you know how great it would be if a black athlete said that? Yeah, I love Colin, and I've loved that he's what he stood for in the past, but we divide here. This is absolute bullshit and not at all true. That would be so refreshing and awesome to see, but I guarantee you not one black athlete will stand up and do what's right. Meanwhile, it will continue to, in fact, build more division between races, who people who are probably clouded in their judgment because they believe idiots like this. And that's a fact. Makes people not like each other. I feel like I'm rushing through my content today. I think in part of the learning curve of starting with a new platform, it makes me kind of like rip through it too fast. And I don't like that. All right. Have you heard the story about this Amazon driver who apparently picked up a fucking hooker or some shit? And then somebody happened to shoot video of the hooker getting out of the car.
With a shield-level annuity from Bright House Financial, their portfolio can benefit from growth potential.
I had a video.
With a
I
level
don't
of
have
protection from market volatility.
Okay, it was a TikTok video.
So they can focus on their future, even when the market is uncertain.
Look
Talk
at
to your
this.
financial professional.
The Amazon driver opens up the door. The hooker gets out.
Build for what's ahead.
Bye.
The reality is right now the supply chain.
I'm surprised we don't see a snail trail as she's walking out of the back door.
We're part of them. A lot of the biggest players in this arena, like Amazon,
Oh, my
for example,
God.
already spending billions of dollars to make sure that
Zane, add plain audio.
disrupted. Mark
Hold on.
right now, the bank rate senior economic analyst.
Oh, shit.
Simpler trading director of options.
How's that? That's a little better. Bound to happen. So, yeah. Dude opens on the back door. He's got the unmistakable blue vest. Opens up the door. Out she pops. Got her flip-flops on. Got her phone stuffed into the top of her little black dress. He's like, smell you later. She's like, bye. He closes the door. This chick posted it. It went viral. And now the guy is fired. They're like, yep, he doesn't work here anymore. So they have, they fired the guy. It's a little weird. Yeah, probably don't want to be doing that. I mean, you can't do anything nowadays without a camera. I mean, look at COVID Tom's story. You are being recorded everywhere. COVID Tom, he was seen in the Lowe's parking lot. He's like, yeah, well, this guy said I pushed him. Go ahead and check the tape. Dirk says, can you please go full screen? Dirk, I know. It's going to be okay, buddy. I'll do it when I can. I'm doing my best. I'm going to do my best. But, you'd think you'd learn. You'd think you'd learn that you're going to have to just get over some things. It looks fine. So, you're going to get a timeout. My first timeout has been given to Dirk. I don't like people barking out orders at me, even if you do say please. So, and you need to know now that the timeouts on Twitch are 600 seconds. They're not 300 seconds. The good news is it's 600 seconds. So I'm just getting ahead of this, nipping this in the bud. I don't like people barking shit out to me, especially you, one of the more stupid audience members. Okay? So even if you say please, you're just going to have to fucking mind your P's and Q's. You're the first. 600 seconds. Slug Magic says you can make the timeouts as long as you want. I think 600 is good for now. I might add it for Dirk alone. Dirk deserves it because he's always been driving me crazy with his QAnon anti-vax bullshit. All right. Kenny says, who just lost money betting that I would be the first? LOL. That's funny. You might be the second. Dirk's like, what the fuck? What did I do? It doesn't matter. You've deserved it. You've deserved it for years of abuse that you've put me through. Do you think I like getting PubMed articles and various things from The Blaze and various things from Alex Jones? And then you're complaining. I still owe you for last week when you complained about the animation. So I think if you're like, well, that's bullshit. I shouldn't have gotten that timeout. The animation gripe alone was enough. And Kenny, I still owe you one too. Because you were engaging the trolls. So you have to eat 600 seconds too. There you go. I think you just got it. Oh, yeah. You're in for 600 seconds. All right. I can't see it on my phone. It's too small. Only one complaining. Only one. You can't tell me that that's too small. Let's look at that again. What the fuck? It's not too small. It's not too small at all. What are you talking about? It looks perfect. And besides, it's TikTok. You can't. I can't make it full screen. Oh yeah, I can. There you go. Are you happy now? Is this what you wanted? Does that make that big of a difference? Sexy voice Andrea says it is too small. That's okay. You can complain. You don't get 600 seconds. Everybody's like, seriously, that's so unfair what you did to Dirk. Well, no, it's absolutely fair. I owed him that. Shut up. He deserved every single second of that. He always does and always will. All right. Peta is at it again. I don't know how we ever take this organization seriously. In fact, I don't think we can, frankly. The organization known as Peta. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Now, to be fair, whenever I think about how our food is made, it does make me sad. Until I eat. All right? But if you're going to try to make a big deal about something, this is not the way. I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about it. And if anytime anybody mentions Peta, you might engage someone who's sympathetic to them. But I'm not sure. Peta put out a press release on Thursday petitioning Major League Baseball to change its language when referring to the bullpen. So the pitchers warm up there. It's always been known as the bullpen. Out of the blue, they're very serious in this press release that they want baseball to change the name of the bullpen. They're even offering a suggestion. You should change it to the arm barn. It's the ridiculousness of suggesting something so stupid as that, them thinking that it will have any effect on anything. And then having the nerve to say, instead, you should call it this. Giving them an alternative. Like they'd go, oh, yes, of course. So they know that no one is going to engage them in this. They know that this press release is just that, a press release, and it'll die there as a press release. But the fact that they do it all with this air of arrogance to them, that not only should you change it, but we're going to give you a new name. Bullpen refers to the area of the bullpen where bulls are held before they are slaughtered, Peta wrote. It's a word with speciesist, I can't even say the word, speciesist roots. That's a thing, speciesist roots. And we can, here you go, do better than that. Anybody who says do better needs a big fuck off to begin with. Switching to arm barn would be a home run for baseball fans, players, and animals. We are proposing replacing bullpen with arm barn. Let's liberate the language we use in baseball. This is why I think I would be a horrible boss if I ran the baseball team, because all I would want to do is troll. Okay? I was, let's say all the baseball teams ignore PETA, but the one baseball team that's run by Eric Zane says, that's a great idea. We are going to call it the Arm Barn from this day forward. Instead of the bullpen, we are actually going to have a real bullpen above the actual Arm Barn. We are installing a bullpen where a bull will be wandering around, and then every time the manager comes out to order a relief pitcher, a bull will be slaughtered right there for everybody to see. We'll get it sponsored by the cattle producers industry. And so because of you, until you actually take back your suggestion, we are going to go with this. So for every time we have a new pitcher, another cow dies, and this is all your fault. That is my suggestion. Can you imagine that? They actually did that. Put it on the big screen. Holy shit. Double down and call it the slaughterhouse. Patriot Nick says, it never ceases to amaze me how useless PETA proves themselves to be. PETA would rather be off combat and actual rodeos and running with the Bulls events than the reference to the bullpen in baseball. PETA would be better off. It's written weird. Sorry that I read it. I feel bad. I should probably pre-read those before I read them. Maybe. All right. Asshole of the day next. If you have any suggestions on the chat, please leave them now. Until then, thank you to Horizon Hydroponics. Horizen, hydroponics.com. If you're growing indoors, this is who you need. Reach out to them online, horizonhydroponics.com. Order anything you want, and it's shipped anywhere in the U.S. Orders $250 and over are sent free. You can also order them and pick them up in person. horizonhydroponics.com. Use the coupon code Zane Show at checkout, and you will save 10%. Dumpster divers with Not Black Emilio and Kyle, 616-375-9962. If you are in West Michigan and you need a dumpster, that is who you call. And then how about Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV? They sponsor the Twitter feed. They are the title sponsor of this Twitter feed. Thank you so much to Irvine's for that. They make it all possible with their amazing support, as all the sponsors are amazing, and being a part of this show. If you have need a car repair in West Michigan, reach out to Irvine, 616-532-6600. Servicing domestic, Asian, European models, about everything except for Volkswagens. Go to their website, ervines.com, and check out their Google reviews. Thank you so much. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Asshole of the day is the a-hole whose face got in the way of COVID Tom's fist. Lowe's asshole. That's got to be. Asshole of the day, 600 seconds. Peta or Colin Kaepernick. Michigan bums losing again. Colin Kaepernick, Peta. Who could it be? Yeah. It's in doubt. There's a lot of great candidates for asshole of the day. The asshole of the day is brought to you by TC Paintball and JM Synthetics. Several honorable mentions, but today's asshole of the day is Colin Kaepernick. That's just too much. I'll just hold it. It's in the way now. The screenshot is smaller. All right, there you go. I think we did as good as we can for our first edition of the Twitch live stream. I'm going to leave it right there. You folks are the best. I will be on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Kenny says that is a lot of seconds. He is back. Welcome back, Kenny. You kind of deserved that from when you engaged the trolls. I owed you that one, and I owed Dirk that one. But Dirk is kind of right. I should make that screen bigger, so I kind of take Dirk's back. No, I don't, because of his complaining about the animation that everybody loves. There's two things that are true. Everybody loves the animation, and everybody loves Cardiff Electric. That's true. All right. Thanks again, folks. Brady Fan 1989 says, can you stop the moving sun behind me? Behind you. No, I'm not. I like it. And you got a timeout for that. Oh, I'm loving the timeout. Eat 600. Kenny says the video Dirk was bitching about was fine today. You see, Dirk, shut the fuck up. All right, folks. Kyler, you're getting 600. Thanks, folks. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You should be saving for the future, but savings accounts suck, and investing can be scary. We combine the ease of savings with the real returns of investing. We call it Save Vesting, and it's only available in our new app, Stairs. Stairs offers 4 to 6% returns, no fees, and you can withdraw anytime. Do your future a favor. Visit stairsapp.com today.